Hey! What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Child of Mecha livestream. I am your host, Tim, the one and only Child of Mecha. And, yeah, I have a little... Look at that. Right there. Little pimple that scabbed over. At my age. What the fuck, man? Like, really? Anyway. How are you guys? Welcome. It's Monday. It's a new week. We're here. We started at the bottom, but now we're here. Anyway. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. We got the Grizzlies on today. We're repping the Grizzlies. Because if you're gonna be a bear, be a grizzly. Right? Anyway. So yeah. What do we got going on here in the chat? This stream is the best part of my About Mondays, Miko Plot says. Hey, thank you, Michael. I appreciate that, buddy. Greatest J-Chan over there on Twitch says, hey, I was just looking at your works on my stream. Super awesome stuff, man. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. It means a lot. It means a lot. Yeah, Rafael Torres is with us. He's over there on Facebook. He says, yo, Tim, what up, dude? What up, dude? It's Monday. We're going to be jumping back on this GM Quel. We're getting close, you guys. We're getting really close on this. I can feel it, right? Oh, what's this now? Greatest J-Chan, new follower. Thank you. Welcome to the Mech Army, buddy. You get one of these. Hey, look at that. Haven't seen one of those in a while, right? Hell yeah. Calvin Branham says, you're not an old fart yet. Live with your pimple. Thank you, Kelvin. I appreciate that, man. It's just a scab now. It's just unsightly, right? It's like I got herpes or something. Pfft. Like that would happen, right? Jesus. Anyway. So rocking the Grizzlies. Mecha Decals. Go get you one. Let's get some business out of the way and let's start building. Actually, I know I got something to show you. Just a little something. But it's still cool. At least I think it's cool. Alright, so if you want any of the tools and materials, if you're looking for any of that stuff, there's an Amazon link below here in the description. Or that side if you're watching on Facebook, which I know that you're probably not. Because Facebook sucks. But I get a bit of a commission based off the stuff that you buy, but it does not increase the cost for you. No, fine people. There's a lot of cool stuff in there. Like I said, tools and materials that we use on a daily basis. We've got gear for streaming if you're into that. And also books for inspiration, which is just awesome sauce. Highly suggest you go and pick some of that stuff up. Like I said, it goes to support the channel and what we do here. So go take a look. If you want to pick up one of these Grizzly t-shirts, which are so nice because it's not a true baby blue. It's like a little heathered, right? And it's just so nice. It's so comfy and soft, and I just one of my favorites now. And Miko Pla knows what he's talking about because he just got his shirt, I guess, today and posted about it. So Gunpla Vapor on the good old Instagrams. Yeah. Go check it out. But www.childofmecha.com is where you can go to get one of these. Hit the store button up at the top. You will see these shirts, these awesome Mecha Decal Insignia shirts. We got the Ace Pilot shirts. We've got other shirts, hats, and prints, and all sorts of fun stuff in there. So go load up. And then if you really want to show your support for what we do here, man, hit up the Patreon. The Patreon is where it's at, you guys. Lots of cool stuff going on over there. We've got tons of whip pictures that don't make it to the other social media outlets. We've got giveaways. We've got monthly hangouts for the Hangout Gang. All sorts of fun stuff going on over there. And it helps drive what we do. So, if you really want to show your support, if you're in that position to do so, go hit up the Child of Mecha Patreon, because it would be greatly, greatly appreciated too. Yeah. Anyway, with that being said, if you are in the market for kits, tools, paints, accessories, Mecha Decals, hit up our good friends right down here, USA Gundam Store. Adam and the fine crew down there will definitely have what you need. They got a huge restock in today. If you didn't see the picture, we're talking pallets of stuff. Pallets. And mind you, I've been there. I've been in the warehouse when they have gotten like 25 pallets of kits in. To say it's an impressive sight is a gross understatement. And they'll move through it like that. Yeah, like that. Anyway, so go check out go check out USA Gundam Store. Pick up just some Mecha Decals. Also pick up the brand new sticker pack that has airdrop in it. That was created by our good friend Terry, Mr. Gundam Yatham. While you're at it, go give him a like on Instagram because he's amazing. He's not only a great artist, he's an awesome guy too. Yeah. Anyway. Let's see. Brandon's over there with us on YouTube. He says, Tim, is there any chance of you showing us your painting process for even part of this build? I mean, I guess? It's not that... The thing is with painting, it's not that interesting. It's just not. It's not that interesting. And my painting process is very, very straightforward and very simple. Very simple. Prime, paint, mask, paint, mask, paint, mask, paint, mask, until I want to blow my brains out. But I don't. But that's literally my painting process, Brandon. I don't do pre-shading. I don't do post-shading. I don't do any of that crap. I just paint colors. That's it. It's very straightforward. Very straightforward. If anything, the decaling process, the panel lining process, the slight weathering like we did on Airdrop, that's kind of where more of the magic comes into play. My painting process, like I said, is just paint color, paint color. That's it. Really, that's it. Yeah. So, anywho. I personally think it would be boring because it's so vanilla and boring and straightforward. Yeah. Anywho, Superset 5, Mr. Michael Dawson's over there on Twitch. He says, Tim, thanks to you, I did my first micro panel line, but I didn't stop there. I made a micro panel within another micro panel. So what Michael did was a micro panel inception? Interesting. Good on you, Michael. Well done, sir. Well done indeed. Nice. Michael Francisco, Mr. Miko Pla, he says, can confirm I'd sleep in this shirt, but I sweat heavy. LO. Might be a bit too much information, but I appreciate the thought. Mr. Gary, Mr. Yrag Gumpla's over there on YouTube. Gary, hello, sir. Been a long time. What's up, buddy? He says, the shirt is fire. It's true. It's true. Gumpla Uruguay says, masking hell. Chris Pabs is with us. What's going on, Pabby? He says, the stream cut out for me after you said you wanted to blow your brains out. Oh, no, I was talking about my, Brandon wanted to see my painting process, and I told him it was boring and just straightforward. And basically all it was paint, mask, paint, mask, paint, mask, until I wanted to blow my brains out. But which I never do. Greg Blair's over there with us on YouTube as well. He says, I don't do any shading either. I just want to lay it down and get into the details. Yeah, same. Let's see. Miko Pla says, oof, apparently YouTube didn't like that. Yeah. It probably just... Probably on my side. Probably locked up or something. No big deal. Anywho. Mr. Hi Craig, Colin is over there with us as well on the YouTubes. He says, evening all. What's going on, Colin? Good to see you, buddy. Miko Plas says, Scribeception, right? Mr. Ty Furious is over there with us on YouTube as well. What's up, everyone? Pab says, if it isn't the edited, it's the dullest content. Yeah. Pab says, I tried it and people fell asleep. Dude, I fall asleep sometimes. Literally. When I'm sitting here masking, I'm like, gone. Just gone. Out like a light. Forget about it. Done. Right? It's that boring. Masking is so boring and so tedious, but it's a crucial part of the process. But I hate it. It's the worst. It is the worst part of building for me. If I could just leave everything primer gray, that would be amazing. But I can't. So I don't. Anyway. Pab says to Miko, thank you, by the way, for the kind words. It was greatly appreciated, and the rest of the guys were definitely feeling the love. That's what we're talking about. 3 stars over there. What's up, dude? He was over there on John Lynn's stream. I was watching for a little bit. Carl was over there, Mr. Goalie Zero, and they were talking about how E.T. looked like a nutsack. What do you do? Hey, look at this guy. Gumpelmeister, Mr. Dave. What's going on, buddy? The pair I love it. With the super pair, right? $10 shout out. $10 super chat. Thank you, buddy. Dave, man. Long time no see, brother. And you get one of these. Hey. But I love the description over on the restream chat. There it is. Hey. I love the description on the restream chat, right? It says, and you guys obviously can't see this because you actually see the sticker, the super pair, right? But it says, pair character flying in the air with a red cape and a smile on his face. It's just so fucking funny. Anyway, Dave, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you for that. Miko Plus says to Pabs, anytime, man. If it wasn't for you guys and Child of Mecha, I wouldn't have had the courage to start customizing and actually taking the leap and sharing it. Man, you feel it right here. You really do. That's awesome. 3 stars. That's quality Gumpa Talks. You damn right. Gumpelmeister Mr. Dave says, oh, good. LOL, that's funny. Right? Just the description is hilarious. The description is hilarious. And Pab says to Migupla, that's what it's all about. You're damn right that's what it's all about. That's awesome. It's good stuff, man. It's wholesome. It's just wholesome entertainment. Because that's what we try to do. We try to provide wholesome family entertainment. Whether we achieve that or not, that's another question. Anywho, all right, so real quick before we get into building, we're going to go over to camera 2, but I want to show you what I got today because I think it's awesome. You might think it's fucking boring. I don't know. But anyway, let's go over to camera 2. Let's pull back. Ooh, sorry about that. I hit the mic with my hand. Probably, if you're watching with headphones on, you probably just wanted to tear your eardrums out. Sorry about that, you guys. Anywho, I got the re-up from our boys at Boom Evergreen Plastics. Yes, sir. Oh, you guys. This stack of plastic represents, let's see what the total was on this. It was kind of obscene, honestly. Oh, it doesn't show. Okay, anyway. So this this stack of plastic here represents, I think it was like $84 with shipping. Yeah. So, but I needed it, and it's probably the best price that you can find pretty much anywhere. So, hey, support the brands that are good, right? So, new addition to my arsenal here, 0.5 by 0.5 square rod. Yeah, that's awesome. And then, you just your normal 0.5 millimeter strips, 4.8, 6.3, pretty standard fare, really. And then you got your 1 millimeter thicknesses here, 1.5, 2 millimeter, a couple 2 millimeters, because that's what I use the most, I think. 2.5, 3.2, 4, 2 fours, yeah. 4.8, a couple 4.8s actually, because those are really good. And then a 6.3, right? So those are the 1 millimeter dimensional strips. And then here's the really interesting stuff here, the rod and half round in tubes. So check this out. This 0.5 millimeter, a 0.5 millimeter rod. Like, look at how incredibly small that is, right? And that's plastic rod. Pretty cool, in my opinion. 0.75 millimeter rod, which is just a little bit bigger. 1 millimeter rod. All three of these are brand new to the arsenal. Yeah. All three of these are brand spanking new to the arsenal. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but it's better to have and not need than need and not have. Remember that. I don't know where I heard that from. That's not me. That's just somebody else. Anyway. We can, with the 0.5 millimeter rod, we can make things like antenna, even the 0.75. With all three of these, we can make little grappling points, like on the shoulders of the of airdrop. You know how it had the rod with the two things. I don't know how to explain it. But the Verka, the Gundam Verka has the two, kind of hooking points there. We can make little ones, teeny tiny ones out of these. So I'm kind of geeked on these three, honestly. Like I said, I don't know what I'm gonna do with them, but I'll find a use. So we got half round, 1 millimeter. This is the good right here. The 1 millimeter. This is what I make all of the little miniature lights and stuff like that we put all over the place. So let's see. Where did we put some? Oh yeah. So like on the shoulder here. This little guy right there, on the top of the chest right there, that little guy, right here on the top of the crotch there. Just that 1 millimeter is the perfect size for little simulated lights and stuff like that. So I have used a ton of this, which I then have run out, so had to order more. And then we've got, what do we got here? We got 2.4 and we got 5.5 millimeter tube. So again, good stuff. Gotta love Evergreen, man. You gotta love Evergreen. They're awesome. If you're anywhere near Des Plaines, Illinois, shit, I don't know if they have a retail or what, but I'd try to go and see them. And Evergreen, if you're watching, call me. Call me. We could do lunch or whatever. Anyway, I need to reset my field monitor here, you guys, because it's tweaking out on me here. I don't know why, but it is. And without it, I can't see if I'm actually in frame or out of frame, focused or unfocused. I don't know. So, bear with me one moment here while I reset this thingy. And, let's see. Boop. And exit out of there. No, go away. Off. And there we go. Excellent. All right, so now we're back in business. Okay, cool. So, with that being said, let's see. Miko Plus says, wholesome until clipping nubs and creeping freely. Wow. John Lynn, jump in. Jesus. Big Goof, Mr. Ben says, that spending is a good pain. Yeah, no, I was not unhappy with it. I'm just surprised that what that constitutes is all. So, it is what it is. Gubble Uruguay, Mr. Javier says, I bought some stuff from Evergreen for my next project, the Fazverka. Once I'm done with the year-long build, perfect grade GPO1. Nice. Odd thing is that I couldn't buy straight from them. It kept rejecting my international visa. Had to buy the stuff from Amazon. Interesting. That's weird. Huh. It might be their payment processor, Javier. I don't know. It's hard to say. Miko has a question.
We have a question.
He says, would it be practical to add pyramid-shaped spikes over cone shape, i.e. medieval doors? Huh. Would it be practical? Probably not. I mean, think about it this way. Are shoulder spikes on a Zaku practical? Not really. When you really think about it. Not really. Because, like, if they were like on a shield, and I've seen the shoulder shields have grips on them, and the flat part be over the hand, right? And the spikes be on there. Then that's practical. You can use that as a melee weapon, right? But the spikes on the shoulder, not really practical. But again, this is Gundam, so whatever. It's aesthetic. Same type of thing. Is it practical? No. Can it be aesthetic and look interesting? Sure. That's your decision to make, though, Miko. You know what I mean? It's your decision to make. So, whether it's practical or not, it's fictional. Does it matter? Just something to think about. Yeah. Let's see. Mr. Gumpelmeister Dave says, never can have too much styrene. Exactly. Nightmare 440 Dallas over there on YouTube. He says, how's it going, Tim, you sexy beast? Well, excuse me. No, it's going good, dude. Thank you for watching, buddy. Pab says, Evergreen is under an hour from me. Might make a trip. Dude, do it. Yeah. I mean, I'd call ahead to see if they have a retail thing, like a space, but why not, right? Get you some good stuff. Let's see, there's John Lynn. She says, hi, Tim. She says, I mean, spikes are practical if you smash your spiky shoulder into someone. I guess. I mean, but that's that shoulder is where that where that pauldron is on that shoulder, it's pretty high up. I mean, if it was down lower, then, you know, putting a shoulder into somebody, kind of like in hockey, I mean, then, you know, maybe. But, I mean, you kind of have to go, I don't know. Just my thought process. Rushla, Mr. Bill is with us over on YouTube. What's going on, Bill? He says, if the spikes were heat spikes, then it could be used for shoulder charge, but they aren't. Bingo. I like where your head's at, Bill. Let's see. 3-star says, true. Miko says, good point, Bill and Tim. Or if it was a melee-based unit like the Schurzum Gallus. I can never pronounce that damn thing. But yeah, basically. But on the shield, though, like here and just boom, right? Sucker punch. Just a thought. Jay Santos is with us over there on YouTube. He says, hey, everyone. What's going on, buddy? Let's see. Dallas Nightmare 440 says, you are welcome. Remember the commandments, Tim. Don't get high on your own supply. Well, it's difficult, right? Anyway, Ben, Mr. Big Goof over there says, fear and intimidation, is always practical in war, right? Nobody ever expects the Spanish Inquisition. God, I watched that last night, and it's just, Jesus. Bill says to John Lynn, without the heating element, you risk doing more damage to your own mobile suit than you do. Hey. John Lynn says, I have no idea what we were talking about. I just picture shoulder bumping something with spikes would hurt. I mean, if you're human. A couple Uruguay, Mr. Javier says, yep, besides getting a high risk of getting stuck. Yeah, that too. Now, mind you, let me refresh you. The shoulder spikes, the normal shoulder spikes on a Zaku are more kind of blunt and not like super pointy. So I doubt, me personally, I would doubt that they would get stuck in whatever it is that they're laying a shoulder into. But you never know. You never know. John Lynn says, like, sea urchins and some bullshit like that. Sure, why not? I have no idea what that has to do with the situation. Alright, let's get back to it. Let's build. Alright, so, last time we were together, we were working on the shield. And I will be completely honest and transparent with you guys. I didn't hardly work any at all this weekend. I just did a little bit here and there, but I hardly got anything done. Yeah. Let's see. Jay Santos says, that's a good point. They'd get stuck. That's why the Legion of Doom always took off their spikes before entering the ring. Wow, that's a that's a throwback. Julius is over there on YouTube. He says, sorry, that is it for me. It's been one long day. Good night. Hey, Sarge. Take care, buddy. Thank you for tuning in for the little bit that you did. I appreciate it. Go rest up. Let's see. Bill says, ideally a shoulder charge would be done with an attached shield, maybe with spikes, like when Atherin does it in Sea Destiny and the Zaku Warrior. Yeah. John Lynn says, spikes. Ben says, sporks. John Lynn says, Jay may or may not have indulged in the drank tonight. No, she did. She says, spoon! I don't get it, but whatever. Anyway. So, yeah. So, really what I did this weekend was I just did the perimeter scribes around the plates and everything on top here. And then I beveled this bit here to match the bevel that was already pre-existing on the lower part of that, so that this would seem basically like, you know, one piece. So that bevel travels all the way up till it gets to that panel line there. And then that panel line's just flat and simplistic there. So this is essentially what we have so far, right? We've got the lower part of the shield, which looks really, really good. We've got this plating here. We've got just a nice clean panel line around the lower part there, and then we've got our plating up here, which is looking rather nice. So we basically just need to continue on and get this shield kind of moved out of the way, if you will. And then, realistically, once the shield is done, it's more or less duplicating parts. Duplicating the parts on the shoulder, right? The other parts of the shoulder here are pretty much duplicated. The panel lines and stuff like that. Need to shape these little lights here. Dust and debris. Need to shape these little pieces here to match these little simulated lights. On the shoulder there. On both sides of this shoulder. Need to clean up and cut in the panel lines in and around this little shoulder light to match this guy right here, right? And at that point, then we just need to finish duplicating the details on the leg. I mean, here's the front of the lower leg piece so far. We've got the knee details and stuff like that on there, and we've got the side plates. We've got the scribe line. We've got the notches around this piece. We don't have the big ones here on the bevel just yet. We do have the big one there, and then obviously we still need to do all the panel lines here at the bottom and stuff like that too. And then also we need to duplicate the upper leg too. Now obviously none of this is I'm not gonna be showing you this on stream because you've already seen all this stuff, right? You've already seen this, so that'll be off stream for the most part. But this thing is getting pretty close. It's getting pretty close. Need to clean up a little bit on the weapon. Especially around the bit here that we kind of grafted together and stuff like that. But so far, that's looking pretty good. It's got you got your little foregrip there, looking nice, and yeah. So overall, looking really good there. The big kind of next step for us are going to be the arms. The arms and the under shoulder here. This little bit there, and then just the arms. So that's really going to be kind of the last step. Other than balancing different details and stuff like that. I may go back and just maybe do a little bit on the lower torso here, just to kind of maybe bring that up to standard, of what it looks like here. Maybe a little something here on the top of the chest. But that's all that all remains to be seen at this point. So we're making really, really, really good progress so far on this thing. Really good progress, which I'm happy with. I'm really happy with. So, we're going to jump back into the shield tonight and get that moving forward, yeah? Now, let's get caught up with the chat just real quick before we move on, yeah? Let's see. Bill says, Jay, are you tick with a lisp tonight? LOL, thanks, other Jay. Wow, okay. Bill says, guess I should explain that. The superhero, the tick, uses the battle cry of spoon when he charges into the fray. I remember that. Mike Skyers is with us over there on YouTube. What's going on, Mike? Good to see you, buddy. He says, hey, everyone, I'm happy to have some quality company while I build. And then Pabs, of course, has to come in and says quality is subjective there. I mean, when it comes to Pabs, sure. John Lynn says, I haven't seen the tick yet, Bill. I got to, though. Ben says, it's not funny if you have to explain it. Kinda. Jay Santos says, the tick was so much fun. It really was. It really was. Ace Mech Customs over there on YouTube says, hi, Tim. Just want to ask, how do you do... Okay.
We have a question.
This is a question. He says, how do you duplicate panel lines? I'm getting a hard time duplicating efficiently. So, the thing with duplicating panel lines is you want to make sure, number one, that you have points of reference that you go off of, or at least I have points of reference that I go off of when I, go to duplicate either on another piece or even on another side, right? So the upper leg here, the two sides, is a perfect example, right? So the first thing, obviously, that I like to use are for this piece are scribing jigs, right? Now, these are the scribing jigs that our good friend Colin, Mr. High Craig, creates, that he 3D prints and everything, and these are wonderful, by the way. So if you don't, if you haven't taken a look at these, check out highcraig.storeenvy.com. That's where you can get these, and you can get a whole lot more too, right? But these provide a wonderful guide to these straight perimeter lines here. And I think that was more 2 or 2.5, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, these are 2 millimeters off of that surface. So you can kind of see how that works, right? And then you scribe right along this guide, right? And it works perfectly every single time. It's, easily duplicated lines, around the perimeter. And, you just hold that to the surface and you can duplicate those really nice straight lines, and really along the bottom here, this panel line here, you can duplicate that. This line all the way around here, you can duplicate that. This line right here, guess what? Boom, duplicate that too. So, scribing jigs, these little guys, are extremely, extremely valuable when duplicating a panel line pattern. Now, when it comes to something more along the lines like this, right, you want to measure, right? So when you get your first line down, which I usually like to refer to as a baseline for the rest of your scribing pattern. So for me, this perimeter line around the piece would be my baseline, right? So for something like this line right here, I would measure down from the bevel, and that's 12 millimeters, right? So then I know to come back around on this side, and from the bevel, measure down 12 millimeters, right? And that matches. Now, another cool thing about the scribing jigs is that you can use these, you can use the edges, because they're nice and straight, you can use them as vertical guides, or in this case, horizontal guides too, right? So you can scribe along this edge, and it's nice and straight. And then, measure how long that line is, and then do the same thing for this one, for this lower line here, measure how long that line is, scribe these two. For this side right here, measuring up from the bevel, or down from the bevel, I should say, is, that's looking like exactly 15 millimeters there, right? So, come back on this side, measure down 15 millimeters from the break point, the little bevel there, and boom, you've got your line. That's how you can easily duplicate things, right? Same thing with this type of pattern here too. Now, the one difference is this middle section here, this little pattern, right? This was used, I used a piece of Dymo tape that I shaped here. Best thing to do if you're shaping a piece of Dymo, make 2 of them, or however many you're going to need, right? And then that way you can just pop it on there and you can duplicate it when you move on to the next leg, right? So that's about as easy as I can explain it to be able to duplicate panel lines, right? Especially mirrored panel lines. You know, a panel line pattern on 2 opposite sides, right? So it's actually not really that hard if you measure off baselines and stuff like that. Hey, Celine Zion. How cool is that screen name, you guys? Celine Zion. I'm impressed. I like that screen name. Gets one of these. Yeah. Celine Zion. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I love it. So Ace Mech, hopefully that answers your question, dude. Chris R's with us. He says, good evening, everyone. Let's see. Everybody's kind of talking about the tick there. Miko's got a question for us.
We have a question.
He says, what's the best way to remove styrene without ruining the original plastic underneath? I use both BSI CA glue and Tamiya extra thin. So, this, it depends. It depends. So the big thing, Miko, is like how big the piece of plastic that you glued down is, right? Because the larger the piece that you glued into place, the bigger the risk that you're going to have with damaging that plastic underneath. But the thing is that whether you damage it or not, you can always go back and fix it. It's not a huge deal. Because I did that. If you watched the old streams from when we were doing the remixed Zaku, I plated the shields pretty heavily, and then I went back and I scrapped the idea, but I didn't want to scrap the shields because I didn't have any more. So I actually had to rip off the plastic, and the underlying plastic was an absolute mess. So I had to sand that down, grind it down, fill it in places. It's just part of the process, man, because in modeling there's very little, in my opinion, that if you break, you can't fix. Very, very little. Very little. So keep that in mind. You know, that's a big thing. But, you know, I think somebody had already said it, but bastard files are good alternatives. You know, a Dremel. Even this little guy, the little baby Dremel, the Attack Life that we've got on the Amazon page. This little guy runs at really low RPM, like low RPM, which is great, especially for fine work. But then you can crank it up. You know, it's got 3 settings here. Boop, boop, and then you can really get it going. Now, I don't know if this is going to have enough power to be able to grind off what you may have. You may need to pull out the real deal Dremel. Just saying. But you just got to dig into it, man. You got to dig into it and see what you got. Another alternative is to cut slices, very small slices, and this is going to be tedious off of that, plastic that you glued down. And then those little slices are going to just basically chip off. And while it's a whole hell of a lot slower, it's probably going to yield you better results than trying to just rip it off. So, just saying. But, good question. Pab says to Bill, post that Hi Craig link for the folks, good sir. Yes. There it is. highcraig.storeenvy.com. That is where you get the Scribing Jigs, and they are an absolute godsend. Yes. So, super proud of Craig, too, man. Super proud of that guy. Bill says, Miko, honestly, with any plastic cement, the two surfaces melt to become one. Once they are connected properly with it, then removal will require repair work. True. Mecha Geek over there on Twitch says, hello, what's going on, Howard? Good to see you, buddy. Miko Plus says, I was afraid of that. Meh, just another skill to practice. Damn right. See, Miko, I like that. I like that train of thought. Good on you, man. That's the way to be. Not too many people are like that. That's the way I like that. Good on you. He says, did the stream just start buffering for anyone else? Yeah, ooh, uh-oh. Bill says, Miko, try using a bastard file to remove unneeded plastic back to where you want. True. Miko says, oh man, those things scare me. I need to either find mine or buy a new one. Think mine's a hand-me-down from my dad. Dude, yeah. There's a whole set of them in the Amazon link that are really, really good. Aggressive ones, but then there are finer ones like this guy right here. I think this is Nicholson. This is a Nicholson. So, yeah, go get you one. I highly suggest it because they are great. Yeah. Let's see. Just getting to Celine Zion's chat over there on Twitch. They say howdy and thank you for the Mecha Army. I still love that name. Oh my God, Celine Zion. That's just that's fucking magical. It just really is. Yeah, I love it. Ace Mech Custom says, great tips, Tim. Thanks a bunch. You are welcome. You're welcome, dude. Gumpel Yorgway says, my colony drop will go on. Celine Zion, yes. Holy shit. Ben says, to Miko Ply, yeah, I prefer the Tamiya wave cut files. They remove quickly, but will, I guess, make a lot less bite and leave a finer finish. Okay. I don't know. Anyway. Chris R says, Tim, what color should I paint my Dom Trope in? It's ready. Oh! Really? Now you just got to get Luis to finish his. Right, Chris? For a Tropin. A Dom Tropin. Let's workshop this here, yeah? For a Dom Tropin. See, I can't get past the typical, desert style colors, which are just, fairly expected. But I almost wonder what it would look like in kind of like almost like a bluish teal, or even like a almost like a gaudy ass royal blue, almost like that, right? Or like that. Yeah, both of these. Just, like that type of color, right? Yeah. Oh, just look at that. Almost like a Rambaral. Yo, that would be awesome. With highlights of red and white and black. That could be cool. That could be pretty cool. Just throwing it out there, Chris. Paint it different. Make it noticeable. Just saying. Just saying. Let's see. Ben says, but with a lot less bite. There we go. Patcherson is with us over there on YouTube. He says, good evening. What Frankenstein project are we working on? Man, we've been kind of talking and answering questions and stuff here. We were going to start working on the shield, but then we had some questions and stuff. Yeah. Let's see. Ayo Mecha, Mr. Ariel is with us here. He says, hi. Hope all is well, Tim. And hi, everyone. What's going on, Ariel? Good to see you, man. Excuse me. Bill says to Chris R, painted tan and orange. I mean, you can't really go wrong with the tan and orange color scheme. You can't go wrong with that. It's a classic color scheme. You add some some gray tones into that, and that's a hot look. I'm not gonna lie to you. Also, too, I mean, you can go ultra classic for a Xeon suit. I mean, that's what I'm doing on the Quel. You know? So many people have done this on their whatever mobile suits. So it's not like I don't have a copyright on these two colors or anything. But those are cool. Those are good colors. Those are real good colors. But yeah, Chris, like that, right? And then maybe like a gold. And then let's see. And then like a gray tone. Like slightly lighter than middle gray. Could be cool. Could be pretty damn cool. I'm just saying. And I know I was throwing tools on the thing, but they were the right colors, so what do you want? Anyway. Let's see. Ben says, right now, wherever you can find them, Miko. Oh, what did Miko say? Got a good site for those big goof. Oh, for the Tamiya wave cut files. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could get those, the Tamiya files, or you can just get like little where am I? Little jeweler's files, right? Now, the important thing, Miko, is to not get the diamond the diamond texture. That's garbage, and that'll get gummed up with plastic and everything. No, these have teeth in them, as you can see. These are fairly common. You can get them on, Amazon, places like that. But yeah, just jeweler's files with teeth, not the diamond ones. That'll get you any good. Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, Brandon's saying good night. I know he's probably already off, but Brandon, take care, buddy. Good to see you, brother. Let's see. Ben says the Tack Life Rotary is amazing for detail work and buffing and polishing. Yeah, it is. It's worth its weight in gold, right? Let's see. Miko says, to Ariel, you working or working on some Gunpla? Hey, work. Have a project. Ooh, bad. Bill says the Tack Life is good value for the money. No, it really is. It really is. Let's see. Colin. His name is Colin, not Craig. Did I do that? Did I make that mistake again, you guys? I'm sorry. I will never get that right. I will sometimes get it right. But I will probably more call him Craig than Colin. What? Anyway. Plastic Peon Workshop is over there on YouTube with us. He says, "Sup everyone? Hope everyone is doing well." Hey, we are. I think we are. Yeah, it's Monday, but we're here, right? Mike Skyer says Lakers colors. Whew. I don't know, man. I don't know. That could be a bit much. Chris R says, I'll see what I can do. I do the black and blue, Dom Trope and Snow variant. Ooh, yeah, I like that. I kind of like that. White with just gray highlights would be pretty cool. Yeah. Let's see. Bill says, I was thinking a light tan, almost cream, and either burnt orange or slightly more orange than character yellow. Interesting. Jay Santos says the Carl Gustav, Gustav Carl, colors would look sick on it. Yeah. Let's see. Jesse Oslin is with us over there on YouTube. What's going on, Jesse? He says that's a great suggestion. Would look sick. I agree. I totally agree. Chris R says no kink shaming here, Santos. Each to their own, Lo. Huh. Yeah, okay. Touchison says here surviving at Plastic Peon Workshop. Word. Okay, so we're caught up with the chat. No more questions. Let's get to building after I take a sip of my drink. All right. Word. All right. Let's put these guys on, and let's get down to business here, shall we? All right. So, more kind of just mocking up stuff here, and I'm not gonna put the lower shield back in place completely, but I want to see how this thing is kind of shaping up here, especially with these two little guys right here, right? Come on. And I'm not gonna pop these all the way in. I just want to kind of get those a little mocked up here, and just kind of see what exactly, we're working with, right? And kind of plot out what our next move is, right? Now, one thing I forgot to mention here was I went ahead and focus. There we go. I went ahead and squared out these two notches here, and these are about, I think, 1.5 millimeter notches there. And then I don't know if you can see it very well, but I brought it up over the top here on this surface, right? So what I'm thinking that we do next is kind of a callback to this piece here. Now, we filled this in with plastic strip. This was a molded in, like a pre-molded recessed area, right? And I think what we do is go the opposite of that. Similar to kind of like the Verka shield. I don't have it, unfortunately, with me. It's packed away. But on the RX-78, the Verka shield, there's a long raised strip on the shield, right? Which I think would look really kind of cool right down the middle here, because I'm planning on putting the insignia and designation decals down here in this large area. So up here is just kind of for protection, right? Yeah. So I'm thinking that's probably what we do. And maybe decorate it with some panel lines and stuff like that. Kind of like that. Yeah. Let's see here. Superset 5 over there on Twitch, Mr. Michael, he says, why not Titan's colors for the Tropin? I don't know. Titans are, I don't know. Only in certain cases, I think. But it's not my model, right? Kenneth says, hey, evening. What cool things did I miss? Not much, man. We've just been talking, answering some questions and stuff like that, brainstorming and things, right? Touching over there on YouTube, he says, what's the best glue you can recommend if we break some parts during a build, custom or casual? Honestly, dude, there's 3 main adhesives that I kind of ascribe to. Obviously, number 1, your BSI, your Bob Smith Industries, Instacure, This is the 5 to 15 second cyanoacrylate. This is super glue, but this is the best stuff. It's amazing. And then also make sure if you're going to get this, get this. This is Instaset. It comes in a little spray bottle, but you can take this and you can rebottle it into this nice little needle bottle, right? And just put a drop of that on your piece, and you don't waste nearly as much. So for super glue, Bob Smith, hands down. Now for solvents, these two are the main ones, obviously, right? Tamiya Extra Thin, everybody knows that. It's tried and true. It is a standard. But what a lot of people are still unfamiliar with is Plastic Magic. I use this way more than I use Tamiya Extra Thin. As you can see, this collects dust most of the time, where this one gets used the majority of time when I need to weld two pieces of plastic together. The reason why I like Plastic Magic is because it's kind of a happy medium between Tamiya Extra Thin and super glue, because it cures a lot quicker than Tamiya Extra Thin, but it still has that process, that melding process, like Tamiya Extra Thin does. Not to the same level, but it still creates a really, really nice hold. And the beauty part about Plastic Magic is that it bonds ABS. It bonds ABS to itself, it bonds it to styrene, and other plastics, other glues cannot. Mainly acrylic, which is also very nice to be able to glue to. So Plastic Magic is a wonderful, wonderful adhesive. It's by the company Deluxe Materials. I believe it's a British company, but most hobby stores in the US, maybe even in Canada, I think, because Mike Skyer says Plastic Magic changed my life. Mike, I fear for your life then, sir. No, I'm just joking. It's joke. It's joke. No, I get it. I totally get it. But most hobby shops have easy access to Deluxe Materials. If they don't carry Plastic Magic, chances are they can get it. Because before my local hobby shop closed down, they carried a ton of Plastic Magic or a ton of Deluxe Materials products, right? And then but they didn't carry Plastic Magic. So I went in there, talked to one of the guys, and I said, hey, this Plastic Magic, this is real deal stuff. You need to get this. Can you order it? And he says, yeah, how many bottles you want? I'm like, go ahead and order me 3, right? And then I explained it to him, and then he's just like, wait, you mean this can bond ABS? I'm like, yeah. And he says, he calls the manager up, and he says, dude, did you know about this? The manager was like, no. He says, do you think we should order some for the store? And he's like, yeah, buy 2 cases of it. Boom. Instant like that. And for the rest of the time, they carried Plastic Magic on the shelf. You never know. You never know. But anyway, Plastic Magic is the great equalizer when it comes to a solvent glue. So, Tetchison, hopefully that answers your question in a roundabout sort of way. Right? So, let's see here. Kind of says, how about doing Embossed Emblem? Only, I don't know. The Embossed Emblem thing can be cool. It also can be way overdone. It can be way overdone. I've already got this little guy here, and that is embossed. That's a raised detail, if the camera would even focus on it. You can see that is absolutely raised off of the chest. And I like that detail because it kind of gives a distinction to the piece. But on the shield, I'm not necessarily sold on erased emblem. I'm just not into it. I'm not into it. Maybe on other places, just very subtle hints of it. Could be interesting. Looks like it froze. Great. My side froze, so if you guys get a little stutter, that's just me. Anyway, as I was saying, not too into the raised emblem on shields. It's just, it can be a bit much. Yeah. Let's see. Ultraman Dyna, Luis is with us. He must have heard we were talking about him. He says, Chris, you're done with your Dom Tropin, dude? Chris said would match my one-of-a-kind beanie. Yeah, the Titans colors, yeah. He says it's on the paint booth. Yes! He says, I'm looking forward to seeing. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Chris says, I do the orange. There you go. Mike Skyer says, Plastic Magic changed my life. We saw that. He also says, not in Canada. I had to get mine off Amazon. Damn. It's not great. It's not great. Anyway. Let's see. Bill says, yeah, and the blues for highlight and tertiary colors would be cool. Yeah, true. Pro Thug 2004. What's going on, buddy? He's over there on YouTube. He says, did you do that on a 3D printer? No, actually. Because like Bill said, I don't use a 3D printer. Actually, what that is, that skull and crossbones raised detail, that is actually a Kotobukiya option part. And I'm trying to find the frame that has that on there so I can show it to you. And obviously everybody else who might be interested in it as well. God, where is it? Here it is. Got my stack of Kotobukiya parts here. Sometimes a pain in the ass trying to get one frame out of there. Anyway, so this is the frame here. P150, right? So that's the little guy right there. This is a different frame than this is a much newer frame. And that little skull and crossbone guy right there, number one. That's the one right there. That little guy right there. So Kotobukiya, right? Yeah, that's what you want to look for. Kotobukiya. P150 right there. And it's got a bunch of other different kind of raised emblems and stuff like that. It's got kind of this cross shield, these swords and inside of a shield, which is really nice. A nice little lion head there. This kind of almost like a Maltese falcon type of thing. The Japanese flag, obviously. And got some crosses here as well. But obviously my favorite is the skull and crossbones. Now, mind you, I did use this little falcon emblem here for the Ozymandias build on the chest. Had to cut the thing in the middle. I had to cut it right down the middle and fill it in because it was kind of like on a this type of surface, right? If you looked at it. That's what I used on the Ozzy. But there, that beautiful piece right there. That's the one. That's the one. So, yeah. Hopefully, that helps. Yeah. Ultraman Dyna, Mr. Luis says, I have yet to finish my Dom Trope, and it was a build-off after all. Yeah, Luis, come on, man. Chop, chop, son. Let's go. Let's see. Bill says, all right, folks, gonna jet, have fun. Bill, thank you for tuning in, buddy. I appreciate it. As always. Pro Thug says, sweet. Yeah, and there's Bill hooked it up with the link for that particular Kotobukiya frame. There you go. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate that as well. Miko Pla, question. Tap water or no tap water? If you know, you know. I obviously do not know. I don't get it. Right overhead. Yeah. Chris R says, I mean, it was only 2 years ago, right? And who am I? Who am I to be chastising Chris and Luis on taking 2 years to do a build, right? You're talking to the guy that spent 4 years on the Hummingbird. So, anyway, all right. So let's get to gluing some plastic on here, yeah. All right. So what I'm thinking, like I said, like a raised strip right down the middle here, right? To kind of do almost like a callback of that. Now, we want the strip to be not necessarily thick. You know, we don't want like a 1 millimeter thick piece of plastic. So we're probably going to go with 0.5 millimeter. I think that's a safe medium. I think 1/4 millimeter would be way too thin. It would just get lost in the mix. So 0.5 millimeter, I think, is going to be the way to go. Now, the kind of bigger question is, what width of strip do we go with, right? Do we go 2, 2.5, 3.2? What do we go with? Well, I'm thinking either 2 or 2.5, right? But then again, do I even have those strips sitting here on my desk? And I'm looking through my little pile of plastic here. What is this? That's 1/4 millimeter. I think that's not going to help us for nothing. And see, what do we have? What do we have? What do we have? Oh boy, let's see. Just trying to find something in 0.5 millimeter that is going to be applicable here. I'm finding 3/4 millimeter. I'm finding full millimeter, 1/4 millimeter, but the elusive 0.5 millimeter stock is just not here. So we may need to dig into... Yeah, we may need to dig into the supply. So, let's go over here. Grab the strips of plastic here. Now, we're going 0.5 mil. There's 1, there's 1.5, 2, 2.5. All right, so I'm thinking either 2 or 2.5. So let's pull those two guys out here, and we're gonna put the rest of that back, and let's see what we have here. So here's 2 millimeter by 0.5, and then here's 2.5 millimeter by 0.5. Now, granted, I know 0.5 millimeter in width doesn't seem like that much, but let me illustrate why it actually is, right? So here's 2 millimeter, right? That's 2 millimeter. It's looking pretty good. I like that. I like that so far. Here's 2.5. That just feels... I don't know, man. I think that feels a little bit too much. Yeah, I think we're going with 2. That feels more subtle. More elegant. I think this is what we got. I think that's what we're going to do. All right. So, with that being said, let's pop off the lower bit of the shield here. Let's get that over there. And next we need to do a little bit of measuring, right? We need to figure out how long that strip actually needs to be. Now, from the top of the shield to the actual panel line there, you're looking at, 29 millimeters, right? 29 millimeters. So you're looking at 1 millimeter there, you're looking at 2 there, so -3, that's 26 millimeters between the top and bottom of the notches there, right? 26 millimeters, then -4, give another 2 millimeters of buffer space. You're looking at, 22 millimeter? Yeah, I think that'll look really nice, actually. So 22 millimeters is what we need. So to make this cut, we're going to, because we want to get it nice and square, we're going to pull out the chopper here. Let's yank the focus back just a little bit so you can see the setup here. And we're going to unlock that. We're going to grab our L square. We're going to measure out 22 millimeters right about... boom, right about there. Get our stop block in place, lock that into place, and then, come on, we'll square off this end just to make sure that's nice and square, and then we'll pull that strip over, get it nice and tight up against the stop block, pop that down, and there is your 22 millimeter strip. Now, we're going to put this away here, and we're just going to kind of lay that kind of in a general position. This is not a final position. This is just a general position, just to kind of feel out basically just what feels best, right? And I think that... yeah, see, I think just seeing the overall composition here, right? If we lay this in place to cover up those nasty, peg holes there. See, I think that just looks really, really good. I think that looks really good. Now, mind you, this gets filled up, so that goes away. This guy here. So pretend that that's not there, right? And then these two white deals here, those are actually notches that I filled in. Those are pre-molded notches that I filled in. Yeah, and mind you, I'm looking at my field monitor. Just looking at the composition here. Basically the same thing that you're seeing on screen, I'm looking at my monitor and I'm just looking at it and kind of getting a gauge of composition, right? I could look at it with my eyes, I could just look down at it, but it's not the same as looking at it kind of, I guess, in almost like a third party type of way, right? But I think that looks good. I think that looks really, really good. I think that strip ties everything together. Yeah. Yeah. I'm digging that. Okay. Very cool. All right, so what we do next is we have to, obviously, we need to do a little bit of math. And we need to find center on this thing. Because it's not as easy as just, oh, glue it on, boom. That's not centered there, buddy. So we need to find the true vertical center here. Oh, well, the beauty part of the back here is it has this nice little notch dead in the center there. So the thing that we can do very, very easily is to transfer that mark over the top, and then we have a dead center location that we can measure off of, right? So there you can see in the highlight there that center mark that we just transferred over. All right, so now a little bit of a tougher part here is, because this is curved, is to measure out the center of this panel line. So we're going bevel to bevel here. And we're trying our best not to move it. So that's 10, 20, 29. So we're looking at 29. So what is that? That's 14.5 millimeter. 29, 14.5 millimeter would be... Ooh, that moved. That's... you know what? No, that's not 29. That is 24. I was off by 5. So 24. So that'd be 12 millimeters. Shit. That's why you measure twice, cut once, right? Measure twice, cut once. So right there. Figures. All right, do this again. Actually, what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull in the 1, 2, 3 blocks here and set this on top, so it has a nice little cradle there, right? Let's see. Let's catch up with the chat just real quick, because there seems to be a lot going on here. Let's see. Mike Skyer says, did you ever finish the SD high-grade unicorn? No, dude. It's right there. That's what 8 months will do. Well, 10 months. 10 months now? Yeah, 10 months now. Yeah. Chris R says, amazing master grade hummingbird, tiny high grade Dom. I'm just lazy Tim plus working a lot. Dude, I know. I'm just saying. Miko Plus says, I take it you haven't seen Godzilla vs. Kong then. No, I have. Tap water or no tap water? I don't remember that particular line, Miko. I'm sorry. Luis says, has it really been that long? Crap, it's work, man. Work sucks up time. Yeah, no doubt. He says, pretty close to it, Luis. I get it. I have been working my butt off. Dude, yeah, these two really have. Let's see. Tetsugen says, I really like how you calculate the specs for the cut and not use eyeballing to figure out the cut. For something like this, I absolutely would always do the math, Tetsugen. A lot of times, mind you, I will eyeball things, but I actually seem to have a pretty good determination on lengths, you know, and measurements and stuff like that. So usually if I say measure up 2 millimeters, I can normally just eyeball 2 millimeters on the other side. I don't know why. Just freaking talent. It might just be experience. I don't know. Whatever. But sometimes I do eyeball it, and sometimes it just comes out perfectly. I don't know. Anyway. Let's see here. Chris R says, Tim, I have a problem. I'm looking at my DOM, imagining different colors and patterns. I'm not going to say what colors I'm now thinking, but for what I'm thinking, I need to do some more work. He says some scribes and maybe plot plate to break up areas. Oh, shit. Ultraman Dinah says, Tim, you need a center finding ruler. I've got an extra one that I'll send you. Ooh, thank you, buddy. Thank you, Luis. Appreciate you, brother. He says you would have saved a few minutes if you had that. Yeah, I mean, minute here, minute there. It is what it is. But no, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Let's see. Kevin Branham says, Tim, take your square and measure center from the top peak. You know what I mean. Oh, yeah. No doubt. But I just thought of another thing that I could do is, fucker. Get the good old compass out, right? Get the good old compass out. And what we do... Oh, don't break on me. Come on now. Be nice. Shit. That noise. There we go. What we do is, come on, try and gently remove the lead out of there and put that over in a nice safe space. And really, where'd it go? and pop the other needle in this guy. So now, cha-ching, right about there. So then all we've got to do now, hey, is do this little thing, right? I'm surprised I didn't think about this. But when Louis said center finding deal, right? So what was that? 12 millimeter? Boop, right there. That's 12 millimeter. So now we come over here, and if our calculations are correct, bang on. Bang on. Kick ass. Word. All right. So, what we're going to do next is to, let's see. We're going to grab a piece of Dymo, but we're not necessarily going to cut it off of the spool, right? We're just essentially going to hold it here for a quick and dirty guideline for our marking, right? And let's see. There you go. You can see the center point, the center line right down the middle there. Kick ass. Sweet. All right. Quick and dirty. Quick and dirty. All right. So, what we're going to do next is we are going to eyeball the vertical. All right. And I think that looks pretty good right there, right? I like that. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll just mark the top here, and there you can see that little cross tick there, right? And so then when we go to glue this into place, we'll just pop that right on that glue line, and then we can further position it to dead center. Now, for something like this, for this type of strip, where placement is absolutely crucial, I'm going to use Plastic Magic. I'm not going to use super glue for this because if I have to reposition this, which chances are probably pretty high, I probably will have to, having a slower cure is going to definitely help us out here. So, with that being said, now, this stuff, if you've never used Plastic Magic before, this stuff evaporates very quickly. So, it's best to kind of put a little bit more on than you need, right? Alright, so that looks pretty dead on to me. Now, one thing that I will do is just make sure, I'm just going to do something like that. Now, let's see if we can't get you guys zoomed in, because I wanna try to illustrate to you exactly how fast this stuff evaporates, because it's really, really quick. And we might be able to show you right here, right? Watch this. Boom. See how it kicked over? it's super, super quick. Watch. Bloop. Gone. That's how fast this stuff can evaporate on you. Watch. Watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it. Boom. Gone. So, Plastic Magic is great. It is absolutely great. But you have to work quickly with it, right? You have to work quickly with it. So there we go. Looking pretty nice. Now, one thing that we're going to absolutely make sure of, it's about 3 millimeters to that notch. That's dead. That is dead center. This strip is dead center between these two notches down here at the bottom. And then this is 2 millimeters to the edge of this bigger notch. And then dead center as well. That's awesome. Good stuff. Placement is done. That works great. That works great. Now, when this has actually completely cured, I'll come back, do an outline scribe around this, and probably pull down a thicker line right down the middle of both of these, both the top and the bottom, and wrap them over, and then bring this down to the lower panel line there, just so that both of these parts of the shield are basically halved, so they can be easily replaced, right? So, let's see here. Okay. Neuron had a center ruler tool, Kenneth said. Interesting. Mr. Geo, Mr. Howard, what's going on, buddy? He's over there on Twitter. Yeah, he says, a question for a beginner. Okie dokie.
We have a question.
Hey. He says, what kind of airbrush do you recommend for a beginner? Interesting. Okay. So for a beginner, right? I really like one of these Iwata Neos. These are really good beginner level airbrushes, right? I don't know, man. I like the overall build quality. It's not necessarily the same build quality as your normal higher grade Iwata, like the Eclipse, like I have here. I've had this for almost 20 years now. Same O-rings, same everything except for the nozzle and the needle. But those degrade over time and get bent and all of that anyway. So it just is what it is. But you're talking about a $50 airbrush compared to a $150 airbrush. So, mind you, you do get what you pay for. This thing has lasted me for almost 20 years. So that $150 spread out over 20 years is a pretty good investment. But that's what I use that for most everything. This I use here and there. I got it really just to try and test it and see what it could do and all that good stuff. This is a gravity feed. I personally like a siphon feed, but that's just me. Most people usually gravitate to a gravity feed, right? No pun intended. So for a beginner, I think the Iwata Neo is a wonderful, wonderful beginner airbrush. So that would be my recommendation, Howard. Yeah. Kenneth says, old school trick. There you go. Mikoplot, does anyone else scribe without planning ahead or drawing on the part, or is it just me? Just kidding, just wondering because I used to when I first learned about scribing. Whoo! Yeah, man, you always got to plan ahead when it comes to scribing, dude. Absolutely. Absolutely. Chris R says, remind me, it is the goof flight type that have those vents thrusters on the front of the legs above the feet. Oh, I don't know. I think so. Maybe. Yeah. Kenneth says, am I the only one seeing an owl face? Whoo! Hoo hoo! Get out of here. It won't be once it's painted. When yes, that does look like an owl now that you mention it. Damn it, Kenneth. Let's see. Miko says witchcraft, right? Let's see. Mike Skyers says I've been using the My Neo for a year now. It's given me little to no issues. There you go, ringing endorsement. Howard says thank you, Frog. Nice. Tetchison says, made in Japan quality. Question, piggybacking on the Twitter question, while airbrushing, how will you mask the shield? I mean, it's going to be straightforward. The shield is fairly divided in terms of parts for paint applications and everything. Obviously, your lower part of the shield will be, I'll paint that one color. And what I'll probably do is then mask off the middle area here around, ahead of the, inside of the outer border here. And I'll probably paint the border. This will be gray, like a light gray, and I'll probably paint the border a lighter or a darker gray, I should say. Now for the actual masking itself, come on. Stupid thing. I only use the Tamiya masking tape. This is the best masking tape for models there is. And I've got the 6, I've got the 10, and I've got the good old, what is this, 12? No, 18 millimeter. So you've got the 3 different thicknesses of tape, and these are great. You can cut these up and everything, and they work magically. So, Tamiya masking tape is my only masking tape that I will ever use in terms of models and stuff like that. So, you can get it on Amazon down below, especially on the Amazon page. I got all 3 of those listed there, as well as refills and all that good stuff. It's actually a pretty good price on Amazon, I'm not gonna lie. And that's where I get all mine from. So, and I stocked up. I've got like 3 of each over on the pegboard behind the camera and everything. So yeah, I stock up. It's better, like I said, better to have and not need than need and not have, right? There you go. Anyway, let's see. Ultraman Dinah says, I hadn't noticed it until you mentioned it. Oh, the owl face? Yeah. Chris R says, will never be unseen. GM Quel shield. Yeah, there you go. Let's see. Louis says, Tim, you said that the colors for this GM will be green and tan. Actually, green and gray, Luis. Green and gray. Those are going to be the primary colors for the GM Quel. I'm going military on this, and this is gonna be Frog Gang. So I'm gonna use the frog insignia on this guy. This will be the first frog regiment or whatever. Anyway, but yeah, we're going green and gray. Shades of gray, but mostly that light gray. So I think that's going to look amazing on the shield. That light gray color on the lower part here with the green in the main body and everything, and these little kind of bits and bobs here in that gray color, and maybe some other little accents in gray on the on the main body of the shield. But yeah, it's going to be green and gray. Green and gray. So I think it's going to look great. Alright, so I don't necessarily want to do too much on the back here, just because it's never going to be seen. And honestly, once everything is attached up, you're not really going to see much in way of the inner shield, especially up here, right? Here's the arm, the arm mount, and basically it gets, oh, come on, gets attached like that, right? So you're not really going to see the inside of this area here too much. So I'm not necessarily going to worry about that area. I'm just more going to worry about the outside and stuff, and make sure that looks pretty nice. But overall, that's looking pretty good, right? In terms of the details and everything there. I think that's looking pretty spot on in terms of the level of detail on the rest of the model. So I think we're looking pretty good. Anyway. Alright, so let's get the shield pulled off there. Let's get that pulled out there. And we're not going to do anything to this other than get rid of these nasty mold lines here all along the outside perimeter of that. But we'll do that off stream. I'm not going to bore you with that. So let's see. Tetchison says Vietnam colors. Sort of. Jay Santos says, I like the Frogman idea. Vietnam era precursors to the seals. Yeah, I mean, sort of. It's not necessarily going to be an aquatic, GM or anything like that. It's just going to be straight, militaristic kind of thing. I just honestly want to use the frog insignia because it's so freaking cool. That's it. Kenneth says maybe a beam saber hidden under the shield would be nice. It would. But Kenneth, you also have to remember that the beam saber for the GM Quel is at the ready on the backpack. So all it's got to do is just kind of reach back and right. So, yeah. So I honestly I'm not really looking to do anything on the inside of the shield. It's just not in my inclination at this point. And again, this is not a GBWC build, so it's not... I don't care as much about the levels of detail or anything like that as I would, a GBWC style build, right? A competition style build. Mind you, we've put a ton into this already, but it's only been, a couple months. It's not been like a year, like the airdrop, or a year and a half, like Ozzy, or 4 years, like the Hummingbird, right? This has been a couple months. So this is a pretty low investment time, at least for me. So, yeah, it's kind of where I am. Anywho, all right, so let's do a little bit of planning here because this Plastic Magic seems like it's set pretty good. Now, like I said, we're going to kind of bring down a line there, and then we're going to do the same type of thing here to bisect these two halves, right? But that's not all that I want to do. Not by a long shot. I want to do maybe a bit of a micro panel sort of thing on the strip here. Right? Sort of like that. And I know it's a little bit muddled there. And obviously that's not straight. We're just kind of mocking this up, really. This is just brainstorming more than anything. So something like that, right? And then get some middle panel lines in there. I kind of like that. That looks pretty good. Excuse me. And then also too, we can kind of play off of that onto these pieces here, right? What I'm thinking, maybe something along these lines here, right? Something like that, right? Something like that. And then maybe a floating notch right there. Could be interesting. Yeah, could be fun. And then what we do is just a little itty bitty thing right there, right? And then what we can do is really have fun with this and kind of cut that into 3 pieces. Just like that, right? Duplicate that on the other side, but I think that level of detail right there, along with the center bit, I think that would look really, really pretty nice. Yeah. I'm kind of digging that. Kind of digging that. All right. Good deal. Good deal, kids. Good deal. All right. Let's catch up with the chat, shall we? Let's see here. Miko says this is not a GBWC build. Cough, airdrop, cough. No, actually, this is... This cannot be a GBWC build. Mainly because of that right there. Those are 3D printed parts. You can't use 3D printed parts in GBWC. So automatically this gets disqualified. So when I say this is not a GBWC build, I actually mean it this time. So yeah. Touchison says GMs are super simple and good to start customizing. Absolutely. 100% agree with that. Let's see. Howard over there on Twitch says I sent to look for the same master grade I never got there after 3 months. The money arrived and it was... I don't know. Howard, you got cut off there, buddy. I'm sorry. Miko Plus says that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, the 3D printed parts, man, just as a no-go. That is a no-go. That is an absolute deal breaker for Bandai. No. Like Dikembe Mutombo. Not in my house, right? Not happening. Not happening, child of Mecha. Not happening, buddy. We don't care if we won this shit twice. It ain't happening. Anyway. Alright, so midnight. We're cutting it off. That's where we stop. So, yes. Anyway, kids, we're gonna be back here on Wednesday. And we're gonna continue on with this thing. And then Friday we're gonna have Mechanism. And that'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. Hanging out with my people. Maybe doing some DMCs. Who knows? Just having a general amount of fun. Yeah. Anyway. So, with that being said, guys, if you are interested in any of the tools and materials we've worked with here tonight, or any night for that matter, there's an Amazon link below here on in the description. That side, if you're watching on Facebook, go click that link. it helps to support what we do here. It also provides me with a bit of commission, but it doesn't increase the cost for you, right? Like I said, it helps support what we do. There's a lot of cool stuff in there, tools and materials, books for inspiration, gear for streaming. If you're into it, go check it out. You never know what you're going to find in there, right? If you want to pick up one of the Grizzly shirts, go hit up www.chowdermecha.com. Hit the store button up at the top. You will find this shirt and all the rest of the Mecha Decal insignias, Ace Pilots, all the rest of the t-shirts, prints, hats, all that stuff in there. Go load up on that stuff. And if you really want to help support what we do here, go click on the Chowder Mecha Patreon. A lot of cool stuff over there. A lot of whip pictures that don't make it to the social media channels. Giveaways, hangouts, all sorts of fun stuff in there. So go check that out. And then if you are interested in kits, tools, paints, accessories, Mecha Decals, sheets 1, 2, and 3, those are all available right down here at USA Gundam Store. Adam and the fine folks down there will definitely have what you need. So, with that being said, Mike Skyer says, you can recast the 3D parts, right? No, that's still a no-no. That is still a no-no. That is still highly against the rules. Yeah. Miko Plus says, by the way, Tim, how'd you like my Chowder Mecha impression? You're getting close, Michael. You're getting close. You're not there yet, buddy, but you're getting close. I like it, though. I like it. It was good. It was good. So, all right, kids. So I'll be back here on Wednesday. We're going to pick up where we left off. Honestly, I should probably have most of the shield wrapped up by then. So we'll probably be moving on to the arms on Wednesday. Fingers crossed. You never know what's going to happen. But that's the plan anyway. We'll see what happens. Anyway, come on back here on Wednesday. Until then, have a great Tuesday. Be safe out there, you guys. Build something cool. Name of the game. All right? I'll see you guys later. Take care, everybody. Bye.